My name is John Cook. My current role with Subzero is the Southwest Manager for sales. I cover Arizona, Nevada, Hawaii, Southern California, and Colorado. So my history with Subzero Engineering, I started back in 2013. I started as a part-time site service installation tech. Worked there for about a year, kind of on and off. Ended up in the warehouse building. I was there for about 6 months. Came back to site services and worked my way into a lead installer. Did that for about 3 to 4 years. Moved into project management for site services. Did that for about a year. Then a position opened up for the site service supervisor. So I applied, moved into that role, did that for about a year, and then I've recently moved over into sales. So having experience with Subzero in different departments over the years, I think it's really benefited me with my current position in sales. I understand what the guys are going through in the shop that are manufacturing, the timelines they're under. I understand being out on the road, on site, receiving the material, dealing with the customer, any issues you run into, what you need to cover over, kind of make up and make it a smooth transaction for the customer so that they're happy with the end product. So if there are problems, as a site service lead, as a site service installer, it's their job, it's our job to make that go smooth for the customer. I understand what the PMs are going through. I feel like I understand the stress that comes with it. I feel like the clients will benefit. I feel like I'm in a position where I can go out on site. I can assist with the site measure. I can help solve a problem, troubleshoot with their install team, or I'll also answer questions. If the project managers are too busy, I can kind of respond to the email and jump in. The accuracy of details, it's so important because in most sites, it's down to a ½ inch, it's down to a ¼ inch. The benefit with Subzero, we have a team where we all work together. If something does end up wrong where it's going through 3 or 4 different hands, it's easy to fix. We have guys on site that are skilled enough where they can pull stuff apart, refabricate the material on site and put it up and make sure that it works. We try to be perfect, we try to get things right, get it out on time the first time, but there's so much detail that goes on. Error does happen. The benefit to having site services, you have technicians that are in the field that are trained to modify doors, panels, roofs, to cut down on site, put it back together and make sure that we meet those dimensions and everything fits around the equipment. They're put in place to make everything go smooth. If there's bumps along the way, the product's wrong, they've been put in place to solve those problems. Whether that's your first data center or the 100th room that you've walked into, you can see Subzero's product. It's great quality, the function, the aesthetics. If you go to all these competitors and you go through a catalog, everything looks good. It's containment, it's gonna hold the air in, it works. When you actually get on site and you put your hands on it, that's when you can see the difference. And our product, we do have Essential line, that's more affordable, better on cost. And then it works up to Elite Light and Elite, which heavy duty, great doors. And you may pay more, but you can see what you're getting. Just the function, how it works. You pull on a door, it's smooth, it's rigid, you can slow the closes down. On these other products, you put the doors in, there's no adjustments. You open the doors, they slam shut. It may be cheaper at first, but you're replacing it more often. I'll go in, you'll see this row, it's there. Next time you go back, it's a different product. Just go back again, it's a different product. Subzero doors, containment panels, roofs. I've been on sites where it's been there for 10 years. The warranty's better, it lasts longer, looks better, and it's more efficient. I've never walked through a data center and pointed out doors and that's better than Subzero. Oh, that looks better, that operates better. Our product, 10 out of 10 times, it always looks better, works better, lasts longer. You have longer warranties. You have a white glove service in a sense with site services. If you have problems a year down the road, they'll come back to site and fix it up. To have that logo, there's so much that comes behind it. A quality product, again, the way that it functions, the warranty. You have a team behind that logo that will repeatedly come over to help solve problems, take phone calls, to help troubleshoot, send over drawings. There's so much that comes, there's a team that comes behind that logo. You have trained techs that are willing to come out on site, take that information, do drawings, have you sign off on the drawings. Again, after the material is built, you have quality check before it goes out. If it does show up on site and something does happen, again, if you go with site service, the install team, you have a team there to work through all those problems to make sure that they ensure a great finished product. I've been on the site when site services has really came to the rescue to find solutions for the mistakes that happen. 100 panels, 2 inches too big. Instead of sending all that material back, going through another 6 to 8 week lead time, site service is on site. We set up a fabricating station, rip down the panels, pull everything apart, cut them down, put them back together. But when they're done, everything looks like it's out of the box, brand new. If a customer is dealing with that, they have their own install team. They're the ones that are gonna have to reach out to project managers. They're gonna have to wait for them to put in the warranty. If you have site service in the field, they're doing that as soon as they show up. Again, I think that's the benefit of having site service. They're there to make the experience more enjoyable, more seamless, and less stressful. The bandwidth, the team, we're global. We have techs nationwide. We have a facility over in Dublin. A benefit is there's so many techs that are local. So if you do run into issues a year down the road, 3 years down the road, you have techs, local techs that can come and fix the problem where you're not waiting. With data centers, they're critical to have site service, to have that tech that can show up on site and fix the problems. I think it's huge. I've seen site service save the day is being able to take those problems and handle them with the team that's on site and not come back a week or two later, address them when they come across them. To pull doors apart. We've had 20 doors that were an inch too high because the ladder rack was set an inch too low. So pull all the doors apart, cut down the frames, pull the side off, cut down the acrylic. But again, make sure that we put everything back together, and when it's finished, it looks like it just came right out of the crate. Nice and clean, the logo's still in the corner. If the customer wasn't on site, kind of working hands-on and watching it, they would have had no idea what took place and what the team had to go through to make sure that the product was finished and everything looked right. The difference between Essential and Elite, I feel aesthetically the Elite looks better and you have more options as far as the closing ratio. You can get a better close with an Elite door, but the Essential's not terrible. You still get a good close. You can still do a soft close. The Essential series is the right choice to still get a quality product, to save on cost, but to still get a great functioning door for a better price. The Elite series of products is the best of the best. Great finish look, rigid, strong. The function, the way that it operates, the way, so many options from shimming the doors to side, front to back, to setting the fast close to the slow close. There's so much where you really can adjust the doors to exactly where you want them. If you want it to hold open, if you want it to close faster, there's just the finished look, and then coming back and adjusting. If there's ever adjustments that are needed, you can pull it apart, adjust everything, put it right back together. Years down the road. Going to the doors, how smooth they are, how strong they are. You don't pull on a door and feel like you're gonna pull it off the hinge. When it shuts, it doesn't seem like it's gonna slam and break. If you went with a cheaper line, you're gonna see that every time you go through the door. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna have the stress. How long is this gonna last? Is it gonna break? Am I gonna have to deal with this issue, with that issue? It makes me proud to work for Subzero, to see a finished product, to put something in, and when I walk it with the customer, you can see that they're satisfied. They walk through the door, the way it operates, the way it looks, it's uncomparable, if that's a word, incomparable to other products that I've seen in data centers. Quality control, everything from packaging to shipping to putting it in the crate. You have all these departments, but we're on the same team and we work together. Site service to sales to site measure to engineering to production, packaging, shipping. There's so much that goes on. And again, even though it's jumping through all these departments, there's checkpoints that we follow up on, and I feel confident in the process to be able to get the right product to the right customer. We've been doing this for over 10, 15 years now. You run into issues, you come up with a solution. So the process, you're kind of fine-tuning it, and it's getting better and better and better. Subzero is constantly innovating to stay in the business. Things are constantly changing. Budgets, product, solutions. Again, we're not a one-size-fits-all company. We're constantly doing custom jobs. If we come up with a product that's gonna work better, then we're gonna look into it. It's worth it to take the time, do the research, and with our engineering team, to be able to put solutions together and put it in place to actually get the step up on the competitors. On my first job, great customer, after we contained everything in their data center, I thought to myself, I'm gonna be out of a job in the next year or two, because after somebody buys a containment solution, there's only so much, there's only gonna be so many buildings. We're gonna kind of hit the wall and that's it. But to see the growth in data centers, it's just kind of mind-blowing. Almost seems endless. Not that it is, but the growth is there and great things to come, I think. Sustainability in data centers, the reason it's so important is what it takes to run a data center. The power, the water, there's so much that goes into it. I think Subzero plays a role to be more sustainable, to help cut that down, to run off less power. Anything that you can do to go more green, to operate with less is better, because there's so much that's needed behind that. We have white papers and case studies that show actual time periods, but typically you'll see the containment pay for itself in a year to 2 years. Site services with quality control, you'll have lead installers that are put in place to not only train part-time technicians, but also to check their work and to make sure that they're at the level that Subzero requires. So we do have third-party partners. They have the Subzero stamp. We've partnered with them over years. They have experience. We've sent people on site that have seen the quality that they can do, and we've kind of signed off on it and approve it. Using a third-party partner would be beneficial to site services if they don't have the manpower, or maybe it'd be beneficial for a customer if they have a job in Texas and we only have 1 or 2 local techs, but our third-party partner has 4 or 5 techs. Now they can bring the cost of the installation down because they're using a local rep versus flying somebody in. So I think it'd benefit the customer in a situation like that. The vetting process, from what I've seen, I would be on site working with these guys I would let their project manager know, hey, these 3 guys will take them anytime, any site. Basically, they've been approved. A third party would benefit from the work that we bring to them. I think we would benefit from them. They'd be able to step in and help us take care of jobs that we wouldn't be able to get to. Working in the data centers is fun, and the work, I mean, you can do a 14-hour day and it seems like an 8-hour day because you're constantly solving problems, you're troubleshooting, the days go quick, and then there's a finished product that looks good. What we've done in the past to train our partners, we've had people come out, we've flown people out to our demo room. Again, we have a handful of products. We'll kind of pull them down, put them up, run through our closing systems, how to connect everything properly, what bolts go where, what to use, what not to use. If we're having a third party do the install, we may send a lead installer to accompany them and to train them on site and to kind of give them a run through. I feel like Subzero is a turnkey solution, from having techs come out to do a site measure, the engineer team checking measurements, putting drawings together for jobs, project management. You can have your own project manager for your install team, site service. You have a team that will come out on site, work through all the issues, and again, if any changes, any modifications need to be made, they're put in place to, again, make it more effortless for the customer, more enjoyable. And again, going with production, having over 70 people in the back, people in the office, everyone working together to make sure that jobs flow and go smooth for the customer. We do good in the speed of deployment. For having a custom containment solution to getting the right measurements, working around equipment, after everything's been confirmed, approved, then it goes through our production lines. We have 5 production lines, maybe 6 production lines that are working on all different types of product, expedited lines to make sure that we can get it out to the customers as soon as possible. The moment the order's been placed, you have support through sales, customer service. If it goes with site service, project managers, you have a whole team, many people just working with communication. And it's not only one person. If you can't reach them, it goes stagnant or kind of sits on the shelf. There's someone else to kind of pick up the ball and keep things rolling. Custom solutions doesn't always mean complex. We look for the simplest route to get you there and what you prefer. And again, from vinyl to essential to elite, we have so many different options that we can present to the customer and really, again, give them a route that they want to go and what's going to work best for them. Subzero has really opened doors for me. They've given me the ability to grow. They've worked with me from starting out as a part-time installer, giving me the training, working with me, having patience, giving me an opportunity to be a lead installer, grow into a project manager, supervisor, now into sales. Again, there's a lot of training that goes behind it to ensure that people are on the right path, making the right steps to, again, have those opportunities to grow. I'm proud of the job I do because I believe in the product, and I've worked with the product, and I've seen the difference that it's made. I feel like I am making a difference. I am helping the customers. I'm helping their data centers run more effective, perform better. I know my customers can have confidence in Subzero more than ever because the team that is behind the scenes is there to ensure success. I am John Cook, and we are Subzero Engineering.